The argument that I am presenting to you today is that the early development and use of stereotypes in the United States has contributed to the lasting use of gender roles that we see today in society. The use of stereotypes in the United States dates as far back as the beginning of our nation, and it has persisted throughout. Some examples of this are seen in the Gold Rush. Hispanics were viewed as being lazy and violent, and African Americans were thought of as being intellectually inferior. If you look now, these stereotypes often still exist in many Americans' minds, with the thought that Hispanics are still lazy because they all just cross the border to seek government assistance and not jobs. While another stereotype that still exists is that African Americans are the most incarcerated population in the country, so they must all be uneducated. These stereotypes created essentially an idea that every person belonged to a certain class because of their genetic makeup. This brought on the idea that because someone shared a similar genetic makeup as somebody else, they must fall into that same class or category. This carries over to the idea of gender roles. Gender roles basically say that because you are the same gender as the other person, you must do the same things that they do. Gender roles are essentially caused by stereotyping because we are saying that women must do what they have been told to do and have been doing since early biblical days, which is staying home and caring for their children and husbands. And in turn, men must go out and be the breadwinner for the family. The idea of classifying someone based off of their DNA is evident in both stereotypes in society and gender roles. Because we continue to stereotype men and women, such as how we stereotype different races, we continue to see lasting gender roles. For example, why is it that when we see an advertisement for things such as cleaning supplies, like the Swiffer Wet Jet, it's almost always women that are using it? Or why is it that when we see an advertisement for beer, it is almost entirely catered towards men? These are blatant evidence of the existing gender roles that have been created for men and women because of them being stereotyped. It's basically saying that women are the ones who have to clean the house and men are the ones who drink beer. Gender roles continue to create issues in society, just as stereotypes have. The stereotypes that have persisted in America have led to the oppression which we have seen during the time of the segregation of blacks and whites in America. Segregation was done solely based on the stereotypical idea that blacks were inferior to whites. We have also seen women being oppressed due to stereotyping that has placed a gender role on them. This is evident in the fact that women were not given the right to vote until 1920, due to them being seen as inferior to men. With all this information that I have presented to you, we can conclude that ending the propagation of stereotypes could end the existence of gender roles. Thank you.